I think I'm turning into Dawn. Like the last few weeks, it's
Uh-oh.
just been freezing cold. And I'm not somebody that feels the cold usually.
Hmm. Oh, Bob comes in the picture, right? To celebrate the live stream. Let's see.
Oh, it's nice
Yeah.
to see you, Bob.
Boom. The Bob. Yeah, I think all the people are happy when they see a Bob.
Bob who? I've never heard of a Bob.
A Babaloo.
A Babaloo, not a Babahoo.
Hey, my foot.
Babaloo in the
Lorelei.
room.
There it is.
And someone is in the bucket and out again.
Lorelei. I'd say he's a little henpecked now.
Oh,
I'm gonna
and
let you pick
finally I
up
have
a.
a chat window.
Yep. We just need somebody to type in it.
Hey,
Hello, chatters. Say hi in the chat box. We love to hear from you.
Lorelei. Happy Beltane, everybody. Happy May Day for those who like the red flags. Happy Workers' Day, whatever you want to call it.
Pinch punch first of the month.
Cecil, what are you doing? Hey, no, you're not doing that. No, get off my shoulder if you're going to do that. You can't eat the new cheap headset. No, earbuds that are cheap. What are you doing? Hmm?
So we have some chatters. We have Calvin Thurston and we have Falcon Sue. Hello to both of you.
Hello. Thurston, that was one of the ones on the 3 hour tour, wasn't it? That, yeah. No, that was Thurston Howell. Ah, how do I remember that? What are you doing there, Cecil? Bob Boy? What? Yes, Bob is a boy. What about that, Bob Lynn? You gonna pet me some more? Hmm? You gonna pet me some more?
Oh, what a good boy.
He's petting me again. Yeah.
That's pretty cute, Bob.
Hmm.
You might give people the idea that you're a sweetheart and not a terror.
Yeah, you gotta fool them first if you're gonna get what you want out of them. You gotta fool them, right, Bob? He is a sweetheart. He's got his problems, but he's a sweetheart, aren't you, Bob? Lorelai, wake up. Did I say you could sleep? Hmm?
She says, I do what I like. I'm the baby girl.
It's a baby girl. Are you a baby girl?
Amanda.
What do you think you're doing, Mander? Huh? You
It's
got
being
out and
demanding.
went with us to the water place yesterday and met the proprietor and was a good bird. Weren't you a good bird? Yes, you were a friendly bird.
Must be a good feeling. Just look up and oh, there's Mander.
Pretty darn cute.
That's his spot now, hangover. Sometimes he hangs all the way down, right into my face. You're not paying attention to me, so I'm going to hang on you.
Funny boy. Is Lucy sitting on the wrong side today?
Yep.
Lucy,
She's
what are you
decided to be
doing?
she's being the door guard. If I go in and out, she has to attack me.
Oh, I thought she likes to annoy Sugar.
And she was annoying me. Oh, hi, Bob. You pet me again, huh? Yeah. You can tell he hates me, don't you, Bob?
Such a vicious bird. Well, we have a couple more chatters. We have Lisa Banerjee and we have Giselle Plant-Based Vegan. So hello to both of you.
Hello. Now we're up to 16 people on Telegram now that we've announced it. So that was a pretty good jump for really only had one person on there before. Pretty good jump. Didn't expect many people to leave Facebook to come on to Telegram. Well, I've never heard of it. I'd rather stay on this platform that's, where they basically control what you think and don't let in. The worst part of Facebook is that they won't even let you talk to your followers unless you pay them. That is just ridiculous. So if you put out a message there, it might go out to, if you have 9,000, I think we had 12,000, something like that. If you have 12,000 subscribers, they send it out to 40 or 50. And then they say, you want to boost this? Yeah. I'd like to give you a boost. Let me go get my jack boots on and I'll give you a boost. No, it's just ridiculous. And then on top of that, they're not exactly honest. They manipulate the facts and that kind of stuff out there. So that had nothing to do with us, but the main reason we left is because, the main reason we left Facebook is because when I would try to chat or to see who was trying to talk to us, who was making comments, now all you see is so-and-so made a comment, and then you have to click on it, and then you have to go in and see what they said. And sometimes it doesn't even do that. It tries to get you to go into that horrible app they have for companies, their meta app, which I got rid of a long time ago. So I'm not going to spend an hour trying to find somebody who wanted to talk to me. It's the same thing with personal messages. If you don't have the meta app, you can't read half of them. So I just got to be.
It's almost as if they don't want you to use it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Hi, Bob. I'm not petting you enough. He's whacking me on the arm. Pet me some here. Yeah. Be a big boy. Be a big boy. Telegrams. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say we've got Cami Schmidt who's joined us. So hello, Cami.
Hey, be nice. Be nice with that. Don't chase him. No. Cecil, don't do it. No, leave him alone. Cecil, come on down here. Don't mess with Mander. He enjoys being out here.
No, don't mess with the Mander.
So if you want to join,
you will get into trouble with Mander fans, and we don't want to have beef between Mander and Cecil fans, especially if you're both.
If you want to join on Telegram, it's at Chloe Sanctuary. If you want to join on Patreon, it's no charge to join on Telegram, and we put a lot of stuff up there. Both of them are Chloe Sanctuary, so.
Yep, I put our Linktree link in the chat, so over that all the other links are available.
Yeah.
Did I get Telegram on there yet? I don't think so.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, good. That was some time ago, probably, because I don't remember
but you can basically get rid of the Facebook link then.
Yeah. There's nothing there. I just had somebody mention though.
Maybe you can put a special link for Telegram in the chat box as well, so people can find it easy.
I certainly can do that. Let's see.
And it's a safe place to go because there's no government telling them what to do. It's run by one
It
guy
looks
and his
like you have
brother.
already 18 subscribers.
Oh, that's two more.
Oh.
Yeah, good. And the thing is, I'm not limited. I can put up video, I can put up audio, I can put up documents, you name it. Where and then you can see it. If you go there, you get to see it. On Facebook, you're never really sure what you can see because they were blocking some of it, trying to get money out of everybody. A nonprofit, they're trying to bleed for money. Yeah, how unethical is that?
Yeah, that's a real problem that they want to make money so bad with the same ideas from 10 years ago. So you basically have no benefit at all from it, but pay more money, even if they don't give you more for it. And that's a pain in the rear at the moment
Yeah,
because
and
lots of companies actually act that they don't give you something new or something better. They just raise the prices for no reason.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the only one now that doesn't take a fee when you donate. The only one that doesn't take a fee is YouTube. But then again, they don't tell me who donated. So you donate there, and I don't get to see it. And supposedly they give you all the money. I have no way to tell. Bob, Bob's getting a little fired up. Calm down, sweetheart. Calm down. Yeah, you
Is
can
it
pet
because
my arm.
Cecil's
That's okay.
attacking you?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Bob.
But he gets fired up. Well, he knows I don't want him to try to steal the toy, so he gets into this mode of messing with my arm, and I kind of put him in this. It's not his behavior. He would be trying to steal the toy if he could.
Oh, Bob, you are just the cutest back there.
And
Come
there's some
on,
cute.
get behind the chair and pull Dawn's shirt through the bars.
He's going to. He's got that look on his face, don't you? Why don't you just eat my hand? Is that better? You want to eat it? Not the watch. Not the watch.
Pippa will be mad if you eat the watch.
Mm-hmm.
What? No, you're not allowed on that side because if you grab my ear with that thing, my ear is not fully healed yet. Almost healed, but
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
almost. I can sleep on it sort of now. What are you doing? I'm glad you're playing. I'm glad you're playing. It's good to see you all busy. It is. You're going to get my arm, though, if you're not careful. Bob, I know you want to get involved and get the toy. I know. I know Babaloo. I know the guy. I know him. Oh, you're such a nut. That doesn't work on me. It scares other people, but it doesn't work on me. Start moving your head around like a snake. You're not a snake. You're a Babaloo.
So Lisa shares her bad experience with Facebook. She says Facebook also blocks people that post rescues. I follow some and they say Facebook blocked me for sharing an animal in need.
Yeah, that's what's happening too. Um, so I'm glad to be off that platform.
So come join us on Telegram where the grass is greener
Yeah.
and the Moluccans are pinker.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have to pay to be on Telegram, it's free. But if you want some fancy icons, they have some other little things that you can do. It's that the pay for platform is more. If you happen to be somebody like us and you want to put up longer videos, I can put up to a 4 GB video up. So you can I forget what the limit is on. If you haven't, hey, come here. No, come on up here. You're biting at my
And
leg
if
now.
that doesn't work, I program an app which is called Sugar's Wine Bar where we all can meet.
There you go.
Babaloo.
Babaloo.
You can do live broadcasts there too. And I think there's a way to do YouTube and Telegram at the same time, that kind of thing, but I haven't played with that yet. It'll be higher quality though. They don't do we're limited on Zoom to like 720p, which is not good, but that's what they offer. You get a little bit better by going straight on YouTube, but then we're kind of limited there too. So, what are you doing? Oh, hi, Lorelai. Yeah. The only reason I don't want you on my shoulder is that you'll eat the earpieces. I know that they're cheap, but she's interested
Not
because
cheap.
they're less than $20. You can buy 15 of them for the price of one pair of AirPods.
That's just more for Lorelai to chew up.
Yeah, she knows they're different, so she's trying to get them. No, this is not the way we're playing the game. Lorelai,
Guys,
go past.
behave. Appreciate all her. What a good boy Babalu is today.
Mm.
Mm.
Lorelai, 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 calm down. You have wings. Just don't use them. Lorelai flew right in front of me. I gotta go all the way over there. Lorelai.
By the way, has Manda found an auntie who likes to sit next to him? Auntie Jasmine. No, someone is running away. Was that Manda?
Lorelai, hey, hey, my shoe. Oh, silly girl. You're all fired up there, kid.
Oh, the most behaved bucket boy in the world. So I think the turkeys which show up often when Jim feeds the wild cockatoos in Australia, then also some turkeys often show up, and one of them also seems to be now interested in a bucket and sit in. Bucket lady.
Mm.
Since they called turkey Tina Turkey, not sure if it's really a she or if it's just, name, but
Mm.
Yeah, that's it. That's fun to watch
bird,
him interact with all those birds.
birds and buckets must be a thing.
I think so. It's like a nest hollow.
Hmm.
So today I thought I'd talk about modifying behavior you don't want. Okay. So it's not good or bad. I use the term in the title, good and bad, but not good or bad. There's just behavior that they may have that you don't want, or behavior that doesn't serve them terribly well. It doesn't serve a bird well to fly on top of a stove, so that's not necessarily bad behavior, it's just dangerous. So the main method we use in applied behavior analysis is what we call differential reinforcement. It sounds all fancy, but differential, it's like a seesaw, okay? On a seesaw, it goes one way or the other. So if you have a bird that's up on top of the seesaw and you want them down off there, you jump off, right? And it goes flip flops the other way. So what you're going to do is reinforce the behavior you want and then ignore the behavior you don't want, or in some cases, you have to try to reduce it. So it's not like training on a perch, although you use some of these principles occasionally. This is mainly used to get birds to do something better for them and better for you at the same time. Right, Bob? Now, if I could just do something to stop the wind. blowing pretty hard out there, isn't it, guys?
I hope Cecil doesn't start to sweat. I know they cannot sweat, but you know what I mean, ponting.
I know. Yeah, yeah. Um, so I'm going to discuss the 4 basic techniques of differential reinforcement. And just remember, you're just reinforcing one thing over another. That's why we call it differential. Um, a lot of people think that you can ignore a behavior and make it go away. That doesn't work so well. Actually, it's usually does just the opposite. If you've got a bird who's yelling all the time and you try ignoring it, it's kind of like the kid who's yelling in the back room, you know, mommy, mommy. If you keep ignoring, oh, they look at him. Change my voice and jump. Um, if you keep ignoring it, the odds are that child's going to get louder. And that's usually what happens if you ignore a behavior. So you have to replace that with something else. It has to fulfill the same purpose in their lives, though. If you try to replace a lollipop in a that you've been that a kid is sucking on with a piece of broccoli, it's probably not going to work. So a lollipop has almost no food value. Chocolate has more food value. So you can start moving moving a little bit towards a chocolate bar, and then from the chocolate bar you can start moving into something that's like peanut butter covered with chocolate. That's kind of the progression you use. Bob, do you want to eat my arm, or you're just trying to get my attention? Which is it?
The man-eating
Which is it?
cockatoo.
He tends to nibble on me, and if I don't pay attention to him when he does it, then he tends to nibble harder. He's actually, ouch! Careful, careful, no biting. He didn't mean to. Kind of came down on that sharp side over here. Came down on me a little hard. It's okay. You're all right. Am I bothering you now? Okay. So it's the same with in this situation. If he starts nipping at me and I ignore him, he starts nipping harder. So you either have to give him a toy or you have to bring him over and pet him, keeping in mind that if you start petting a bird when they nip you, you're probably going to get nipped more often. But if you don't mind a little tiny nip and you answer it every time, it'll probably stay right about there. Ignore it a few times and it's going to get tougher. Right, Bob? I'll show you more in a little bit.
Doing his preening artistic.
So you reinforce the desirable behavior, and then you're going to withdraw or withhold reinforcement for those behaviors you don't want. So if he gives me a big bite, then I want to put him in a timeout, put him in one of these buckets or something like that for just a little bit. Give him something that's what we call a punishment. Of course, it's not something physical. It's just you want to remove something from their environment, in this case their freedom, so that you can stop a behavior.
We have a new chatter. We have Rosebud who's joined us. Hello, Rosebud.
Hi, Rosebud. Say hi, Bob. His tail's pretty clean. I mean, this new method I have, I can keep it a lot cleaner. The other method that vets usually use, which is hydrogen peroxide, just wasn't cleaning it right. So I spray them with the cockatoo soap, which is veterinary approved, and then I spray them with water and clean it off once or twice a day, depending. Putting him in a bath for 10 minutes he wasn't liking that much. So, and this works just about as well. What are you doing?
So we have a comment by Giselle about her training progress with her cockatoo Caesar. Caesar is now doing his sound when he wants something to eat because I'm eating. And I fed all the birds before I sat down as I always do, so I'm ignoring him.
Okay. That you can't, that's wait till a motorcycle goes by. If you just withhold, it can actually make the situation worse. You need to replace it with something else. So if he's asking for food,
Oh, he's
if
not
there's,
asking for food. It looks like he's asking for her food.
Yeah. He doesn't want
well,
his
then
food, he wants her food.
if there's some treat that he likes that you've figured out what his favorite treat is, and it's the one you've taken out of their diet, when he makes that sound, you can give him that treat, but don't give him your other food. You have to replace it. The first thing we're going to talk about is differential reinforcement of an alternative behavior. So you're going to try to extinguish the behavior of wanting your food, okay? But at the same time, you have to fulfill that with something else. You can't just leave an empty plate there for him. If I need to think, it's the same thing as not getting a paycheck at the end of the week. They have a desire for something, you have to fulfill it some other way. So if you can't give them a paycheck, then you got to pay their rent for them or whatever it is you got to do. But you have to find an alternative. So that would probably be the time that you would put. One way to do it is to put. This is not different. This is not DRA. It's a different one, but you could put at that time where you're going to sit down to eat, you put just treats in his cage, in the bird's cage. That's one way to do it. Not knowing the bird and not being there, it makes it tougher, but there has to be something else that you can fulfill that need with. Now, the other side of it is you could eat in a different place where the bird can't see you. That's altering your own behavior. That's altering the setting environment. And after a time, that could work to lessen that desire. Give him some treats for a minute or two, using calm attention, through the cage bars or sitting on a perch. Look at him for a second. When you're sure he's looking at you, give him a treat. Work that up over a series of weeks to where you can get the bird to at least look at you for 10 seconds before you give them the treat. And you could do that prior to your meal. You're going to have to try different techniques, but basically or not techniques, but different ideas. You're going to have to try to replace that behavior or change the setting environment. So give them an alternate behavior, something else that feed them, get them treats prior to your eating so that he's not too desirous of the food on your plate. A lot of different potential solutions. That's one of the nice things about ABA. You learn all these potential ways to deal with the situation. But
yeah, there's a follow-up question by Giselle. So I should get up and satisfy his bugging me. He has a bowl of food, and I gave him crunchy granola treat before I sat down.
well, if that didn't change his behavior, that's not what he wanted. You
I
have to
guess
keep
it just
modifying
depends
it.
it depends how much his noises bother you, because if it doesn't bother you, then you can just let him keep doing it. But
Yeah, well, the thing is, you try one thing and it doesn't work. That doesn't mean, okay, we're done. I tried something, it didn't work. You have to keep trying. If I did that, I'd probably have all these birds eating me right now and just devastating me. So when one thing doesn't work, you try
carnage.
another. And if you don't have a particular treat that you've taken out of their diet because you've determined that it's their favorite treat and they don't get it any other time except when they're being trained, it'll make this a lot tougher. Just giving him something that occasionally he likes as a treat is not generally going to work. It might in some cases, but you have to plan for the long haul. All right. Yeah, I know. Somebody's honking the horn. I know. You had to yell in my ear, didn't you, Lorelai? So again, you're just going to have to try to find some alternate thing to offer at that time, or change the setting environment, which is to say, he goes into another room, or you go into another room to eat. Hey, that was right in my ear, Lorelai. Thank you. These don't have, they got some sound deadening, but not that much. Not for the Lorelai voice. Again, it's a balancing. It's a Lorelai. It's a balancing act. So you're going to have to keep trying, and it's important to have that one treat that you can use for training, but they don't get it any other time. And trying to think of the new name for this. They changed the name on Bet. Now, it's also important to know why they're doing it. Maybe it's not so much the food as they want your attention. So if a bird wants your attention, no matter what you do with food, it isn't going to make a difference. So it's critical to know what the bird's trying to get. What the function of that food is, or what they're trying to get to your plate is. Maybe they just like messing with the food on your plate and being there with you. I've seen that with people who get on a computer and the birds try to eat the keyboard. Lord, lie. Yeah, I hear it too. Somebody's screaming out there. She's answering somebody screaming. What are you doing? No,
A
you don't
bird
need to get up on
screaming or
my
a
show.
human screaming?
I think it's a child. No, you're not getting up there because you're going to scream in my ear again. No, you're not getting up there. No.
Babies and cockatoos
Bob.
or children. Awesome
No.
combination.
Stop it. Stop it. Get over here. Bob. No. Get over here. Bob.
Lou being a sneaky boy. Aren't we surprised? No, not really.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a
Well,
couple
some
more
of this.
chatters who joined us. We can say hello to Mark Moody and to Jem and Jamie. Hello, both.
Hello. So, the bird wants the food to come out there and deal with your food, but is it really a social behavior? Is it hunger? If that whatever you're offering them is something that the bird really likes, get off my shoulder, Lorelai. Lorelai. Ah, there you
Teaching
go,
the
blowing
law
my ear
by
out again.
terrorizing you isn't
Bob, stop it.
easy.
Cut it out, Bob. Stop it. Being a pest. Stop. Stop it. Cecil, you're making Bob all fired up. Hey, hey, hey. Cecil. Hey. I'm not going to put you up there because you're going to harass the other birds, but calm down, you little toad. So it might just be a social behavior. So no matter what you offer them, you could offer them the number one thing. Maybe the bird likes, and I wouldn't give a bird ice cream, but like soy ice cream or something is the number one thing they like. If they don't take whatever their favorite food is, and they're not they're hungry, or as hungry as normally hungry, then that's not the problem. The problem is something else. So it might be just a social thing. But I would try I would try making the feeding time just before, and then putting treats, uh, especially doing like the calm attention routine until they're full of treats, and see if that works. If that doesn't work, then it's probably a social function, has nothing to do with food. And nothing you do is going to change that unless you alter the social situation. What are you doing? Which might mean that once a day you'll have to sit down with a plate of things that the bird would normally eat and get the bird out to eat them off your plate. And that's one way to deal with it. Watch it. Watch it. Cecil, will you stop? Cut it out. Bob? No. As long as Cecil's acting this way, then Bob's going to see the Cecil's the stimulant here that gets Bob acting like that. Bob? No, 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 no. Good boy, Cecil. Good boy. Another thing we use is DRI, differential reinforcement of an incompatible behavior. That's when you have a bird that is nippy, like Bob right now. If I could, I'll see if I can make this work, but with Bob right now, it's hard to say. Since he's getting nippy, if I can get him to hold on to me, he's not going to do it. But if I can get him to hold on, see, now he's biting the wood instead of trying to nip at me. Come here, Bone. So with DRI, what you're doing is putting something there that makes it impossible for him. While he has that piece of wood, he cannot bite me. So that's DRI, differential reinforcement of an incompatible behavior. So you're replacing an open beak with a beak that has a toy in it. That's one example. There's other examples of it. Thank you, Cecil. That's just what I wanted. You knocking the earphones out of my head. What are you doing? Now, as you can see, he's not going to be nipping me while he's chewing on that piece of wood. So that's DRI. Hey. Cecil? Okay, okay. Good boy. Now, Cecil was going full bat. Now he's slowed down. So what I'm doing now is rewarding him. If I can get my hand over there. There we go. We're doing it slower. That's called differential reinforcement of low rates of behavior. So he's doing less of the wanging, banging me with the toy. So when he's calmer about it and petting him as a reinforcement, he likes to be petted. Bob, did you drop your wood or did you chew it all up? How about this, Bob? So right now I'm using DRI on Bob, and I was using DRL on this boy. Babaloo? Come here. No, come here. Come here. Come here. No, come here. Get over here. The bucket. In that case, I pulled him out of the situation because he's too hyped up and he's nipping a little hard, not drawing blood, but he's nipping a little hard. So I relocated him. He likes to look out. So if I can get him over to the bars, it works as the DRA. It's an alternative behavior that fulfills his need to be busy. He's busy preening and looking out. So as I go through my day, I'm running DRI, DRL. DRO is another one, or also called zero rates of behavior. And what you do there is if you've got a bird that occasionally nips, not one that's tearing your face out, but occasionally nips, what you do is you take that reinforcement, that treat that they like, Some birds just want to be petted. Right now, I'm dealing with that bird that wants to be petted. So what you do there is you basically have a timer. Most people have a watch or something. Look at your watch and count down. Let's say 1 minute. The bird has not nipped at you for a minute. You give them a sunflower seed. Now, if they're a smaller bird, you want to break the sunflower seeds up into small pieces, but you don't get them full too fast. Just every exact minute. Now, if 30 seconds into that, the bird nips you, then you don't give them a treat and you start the counter again. And after a minute, they don't nip, you give them the treat again. Yeah. And then over time, you can extend that. So it's a minute and 10 seconds, a minute and 20, a minute and 30. Don't make it too long. Because if they're used to getting a treat in a certain time frame and you take longer, then you cause something called an extinction burst. And you see it here and there. I've seen it just driving. If for some reason the lights are out and you come up to a stop where the lights are out, so you don't have any signals, and you're sitting and somebody else pulls up just before you, and they look at you like, "Why aren't you going?" Eventually, I mean, you might start waving at them. It's your turn, whatever. Finally, you start to go across, and that's when the bozo in the other car decides they're going to go. They don't understand the rules of the road. They're just out there driving around. If the lights don't work, they can't figure it out. I've seen extinction bursts at fast food restaurants. That's fun to see too. Power's out and they can't figure out how to make change. It's the end of the world. What are we going to do? We can't make change. You can't count back. You can't count back. If the order is $4.73, you can't put 2 cents on it, make it $4.75, and then add a quarter. They can't. So they go into this extinction burst mode. So you need to make sure that when you're doing DR0 or DRO, we call it either one, but when you're trying to get zero rate of a particular behavior over a time frame, you have to stick to the time frame and only reward the behavior that you want. If in this case it's any other behavior other than the one you don't want. So if you don't want them nipping, but they start chewing on the cushion on the chair, you still have to give them the treat because you're basing it on the one behavior, the nipping. So what do you say, Diesel?
So Giselle has now finished her pancakes and she understands what you're saying. So she will
I'm
figure
sure.
out the favorite trait. And then there's a
Yeah.
comment by Calvin, who says, so like when I want Slugger to go in his cage and I put a pecan in the cage, so he goes in for that instead of me.
Yeah. That's called baiting. When you put the treat where they can see it, so they'll do what you want. That's called baiting. It's something we do too. And it'll work as long as they're hungry. But that's one way to do it, sure. Another way is if you can get them to, depends on the bird, but you get them to step on a perch and then give them a treat and then put them in their cage on the perch. That gets the hand and the arm out of the way. That works too. It's good to have alternatives because in some cases you have to use a different technique. Bob, he's chewing on that wood. As long as he's chewing on wood, it's fine. But then once in a while he sets the wood down and he comes over and taps me. And if I don't answer back, then he's going to get me harder the next time. That's the general rule. Now you think it's funny, Bob? Bob's laughing at me. What's new? But you saw what happened with him when I started using DRL. he calmed down, and then he put the toy down for a while. Now he's got the toy again. So that rewarding the lower rate of behavior. You don't usually use DRL when a bird's flying into your face and biting you. That's not the place for that. But when you have a behavior where he's hyped up, in this case, a bird is hyped up and you need to slow him down. Once you get them calmed down a little bit and you reward that, and as it calms down more, you reward it and you keep doing that and they calm down. Right, Cecil? Hi, baby.
So Giselle says her cockatoo starts walking as soon as she walks out the door. And should she try to give him a treat before she walks outside?
It varies with different birds, but it couldn't hurt. The most important thing when you have that kind of squawking behavior, so it doesn't become a constant problem, is extinction or ignoring a behavior doesn't work terribly well. It actually works against you in most cases. So what you want to do is walk out the door, and when he gets quiet, walk back. You can, at that point where he's quiet, you can say "good bird" from the other side of the door and go across, give him a treat, and then leave again. At that point, I might do that one more time, and then leave, do whatever you're going to do. But make it a habit of doing that for a while. That will slow the behavior down, and giving them a treat before you leave can't hurt. Yeah, the problem with coming back in the room when they start screaming is that that's going to reinforce the screaming behavior. So you wait till they stop screaming and they're quiet for 10, 15 seconds. Say good bird, come back in, give them a treat, leave. Again, do it one more time, and then after that, just leave. Just make a habit of that. Eventually, you can stretch it out to where you only do it one time, and then you can leave without any squawking at all. Just if you have to go back to doing it, twice or one time, if you have to revert, one thing we say, we take steps forward, but whenever necessary, we always take a step back. Right, Bob? Yeah. And bite my finger? Okay. Now, if he's super hyped up, you don't put your finger out there for him to bite. But he'll do it if you calm down. Give you a toy again. All right, hold on.
A rattle ball with a bob looks good.
Yeah, so you always have to think about the possible side effects. So if they scream when you go out the door and you wait until they get quiet, a good bird go back and give them a treat, it might start giving the idea that they're going to scream when you go out the door and then you're going to get the treat. But at some point, you're going to walk out that door and the bird isn't going to make a sound. It's going to be quiet. Go back and give them a treat, and then you're done. And eventually, it'll get quiet like that. Now that's going to work for about 90% of the birds. And if it doesn't work, then you have to rethink it. We have two things. We have a functional analysis, okay, where you're analyzing it, and then we also have it's just slipping my mind for some reason. There's we have what's the word for it now? Do it all the time, and I can't think of it. But anyway, you when you finally come up with the situation that works, now you have something that you figured out to be functionally true. So you know that when you do this and this, that's going to happen. An analysis means this is what you think a bird's function in the bird's life is. So you think the bird is, with Bob, he's usually nipping at me to get my attention. Right, Bob? Right, Bob? Right? Stop it. That's my shoe. No, no, you can come up. Come on, up. Diesel, come up. Diesel, come on. Come on, come up. No, don't eat the shoe. Come on. You little pest. You're a silly bird. Okay. Thing about Bob is after a while, he always leaks a little bit, and then you start to see that you've got little bits of poop all over you.
Oh no.
Oh, poor Bob.
Then you have to go along and try to clean them up.
Hmm.
There are many people who would have already put Bob down just because he's messy, but
But here's the Babaloo.
Yeah, he's
that's
such a
right.
happy boy.
He's the Babaloo. Oh, you chewed that all up? You want another piece of wood? Leave my shoe alone. Oh, we're back to DRI again. Yeah, this at this point it's an unconscious act. I have to think about it to tell you what I'm doing, but it's become a habit. I just use these principles constantly. It looks like magic, like, oh yeah, he just gets along with everybody. No, I'm always dealing with potential issues and trying to make it so that they can live in this world and be happy without killing each other or me in the process, right? Not that they're killers, they're not. They're not. That's my shoe, you monster. Cecil? Cecil. He wants to play. I don't want to buy another pair of shoes, and you're digging into them pretty good there, kid. What? What? No, Cecil. You can see how well no works. It's not terribly effective, but they know what I'm trying to stop them from doing, but the other techniques work better than just trying to say no. It's a good temporary stop. Usually it'll stop them for 20 seconds or so. Don't you play that sneaky game on me. I've got a toy. I'm coming over to get up on your foot and then bite the shoe. Now he's playing a game. Are you having fun? Is this your game? I'll steal your toy. Bob. Babaloo. Darn it. I'm glad I brought a lot of this paper out with me today because you're being a mess, kid. Bob, stop it. Okay, come here. Step up. Step up. Back on. Look, get back up there. You, watch yourself. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Oh, I see that beak. Oh, I'm threatened. I'm so threatened by that beak.
It's a big scary beak.
That beak's scary. It's a Cecil beak. We know all about Cecil beaks. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yeah, let me know, Giselle, how it works out with the training behaviors. 'Cause we'll just keep trying different things until we make it work. I always think back to when I was taking training with Dr. Friedman, and they had this child that they had to handcuff, otherwise they'd handcuff him to a table, or they put a loop on the table and handcuff him there so he wouldn't beat himself in the face. He was autistic, so his hands were free, he'd beat himself in the face. So they finally brought in somebody who specialized in ABA, and he watched the child through a mirror for 2 days. And what he did is he took the handcuffs off and put on plastic handcuffs. And then he went to rope. And then he went to string. And by the time they'd gotten to string, they were able to take the child out to restaurants and they could eat, as long as they left a string attached to one arm. What did the practitioner figure out? He figured out that the child didn't want his hands free at all. And that's why he would beat himself bloody in the face. So it was just a matter of coming up with a solution and working it down until they ended up with just a thread. As long as you had one hand tied slightly with a thread, the child wouldn't hurt himself. Took 2 days of observation, though. Didn't figure it out overnight. We usually want answers faster than that, but with ABA, we're dealing with living beings and complicated behaviors. So. You want to come over and beat me with that? You can. Oh, I thought I had one of those balls in here that was still looked like a ball, but no. Cecil's chewed them both up. Got to bring out another wiffle ball for you. So I hope that's given you some enlightenment into the techniques that we're using constantly. Right, Mander? Mander.
He's
cute.
so big.
Yeah.
Well, it's about time to wrap this thing up, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. Well, thanks everybody for being here. And have a happy May Day, Beltane, Workers' Day, whatever you want to call it.
And thank you, Don, for the live stream.
Thank you, Eleanor and Amy, for
showing us the birds.
moderating.
Yeah, and thank you, birdies, for being good. Mostly.
Oh, Jocelyn is here. I think yesterday was Cinnamon's birthday. So hey, Jocelyn,
Yeah.
and happy birthday to Cinnamon.
Hey, and thanks for joining Telegram. And we will see